Jauan had he had a moment in the offseason where he really tried to use some leverage, knowing that one of the ways that the 49ers pay their guys is to kind of just redo their contract every year, push up some guaranteed money, which helps them in the cap, and then they just go along their way. And the 49ers did not do that with Jauan Jennings this year. They were like, nope, we're good. You want to, you want to hold out, you hold out, buddy. And it was sort of unfair. And I could see from Juwan's perspective how unfair it was because of his, his last several years, including last year, which was his best season. He steps up when they lose BA. But at the same time, you look at where his career is going with the injuries and with their inability to really, or with his inability to stretch the field. And you sort of get it from their perspective too, which is, we did this with you last year. You had a good season. We don't really think that you're going to be in the future plans for the next year. And thus we're not going to, redo your deal so that you get more money up front. We're happy that you're just going to play on your current contract. And so then it's kind of now a prove it year for him. And he has had so many injuries to start this season. I don't know how truthful he was when he said he's playing with broken ribs, because that doesn't sound great at all. And he's had opportunities to kind of step up and be that guy that he was for them last year, and it's just not happening. He would have hit on one of the longest passes of his entire career, which would have jump-started this offense in that second half, and he just dropped the football. He came back on that same drive to make a great catch on the sidelines, which got a first down and helped them, but he basically dropped what was either going to be a score or a 40 to 50 plus yard play. And so when you bet on yourself in that way and it doesn't actually work out for you, and unless he has a really good second half to his season, this is not going to be a great season for him. He's just too hurt and he's so slow right now. What are your thoughts on him? Because he's been such a good player for them, and I don't even really want to criticize him for doing the thing that he was trying to do, which is, as an NFL player in this insane NFL players market, like, he's just trying to extend the lifespan of his career, knowing where his body is going to end up being such a physical receiver. Like, what have you thought about his season so far after everything that happened with the holdout and such?
Well, it's gone awful for him because, like you say, the way they positioned him is he is definitely in a prove it year, and he hasn't proved much, and it's not due to any fault of his own. But what I will continue to say about the offseason of 2025 as it relates to Jauan Jennings is it is a cautionary tale of what happens when you, in good faith, go out there when your money is not secured and then you get injured and you guess what? They are not going to take care of you despite the injury. No, it's that not I don't know that they were willing to give him, anything near what he expected, but it definitely wasn't going to happen once, the hamstring injury came about. It was a wrap on what that was, and then it says a lot about him, and it's a tricky conversation because at that point, it's a prove it year, so do you just strap it up and go out there, which it seems like he is doing, or do you just wait and get healthy, and then at whatever point you are really healthy enough to play, you go out there and put the best tape possible out there. It's a you know, it can be a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Either way, because if you go out there like he is now, all banged up, and you're not productive, nobody, is grading you on a curve because you went out there hurt. They're just looking at the
Mhm.
fact that your numbers aren't what they were. And then you play that game and you just wait until you get healthy. Then you get dinged for not being able to go out there and play. So it really is a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. And that's what I always remember about this Jauan Jennings situation is it's just he is really in a no-win position at this point. And then what happens at the end of this year when he's a free agent and it comes time to, get his money, and I'm looking at the receiving stats, and it's like, Kendrick Bourne is right there behind him. Who gets the most money in a contract, at this point between those 2 as free agents? It's just gonna be a very, very it's gonna be a very interesting offseason for Jauan Jennings.
I would imagine teams look at them similarly, like the style of player that they are. Jennings is, if you have he's better for the Niners system because of their running game. But we've seen Kendrick Bourne get loose in situations where Jauan Jennings has not been able to get loose. So to that extent, like if you bring a guy back, do you take Kendrick Bourne for less money than JJ? You probably do at this point if you're pinching pennies like the 49ers are pinching pennies.